I originally went and saw various practitioners for pain in my lower back. The osteopath looked at my spine and they reminded me that I'd been diagnosed when I was 15 with Sherman's disease, which is where one of the vertebrae doesn't form properly and it sort of has a bend in it. It causes your whole spine to kink, and they said that I just have to manage the pain. I saw an ad for AcuEnergetics. After the first session even, I had such a difference that I decided to go back, and after 4 weeks we'd established that the pain in my lower back was associated to a fear from a trauma that I'd had a few years previous, which was related to an incident where a guy had pulled a gun on me, and I was actually quite scared for my life, and that fear I hadn't let go of.
If somebody's got a trauma or has a trauma at the time that they have an accident, it sort of locks it in. And the problem is that you've got this congestion of energy in the knee, in his case, or in the back, and you can't release it by normal means because he's holding on to this trauma. If he lets go of the trauma, then you can open up the energetic system.
In the first session that we had, we were trying to work out where his pain had come from, and through talking to him about what was going on at the time, I found out that he had this traumatic event, and it seemed to really fit in with the symptoms that he had in his body. And so I felt this energetic centre, the base, which is associated with that kind of congestion of trauma, of the life and death type fear, and feeling it was completely numb. So that's where I sort of knew where to start with, and in sort of helping to alleviate that congestion in the base, we were able to help alleviate the pain in his body.
4 to 6 weeks, the pain went from an 8 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10.
It was really fascinating for me to see basically exactly what we learn and how the body works from this emotional trauma through to the energetic system through the physical body.
The second thing that happened, I injured my knee playing soccer. It was from literally just taking a kick, and I got told that I'd done my ACL, I'd done cartilage damage, I'd done this, I'd done that, and that I'd need to have surgery. And at the time I was being treated at AcuEnergetics for my lower back, so I thought I'd give them a go at my knee, and it was one session once a week for 4 weeks.
His knee was not quite connected to one of the energy centres in the body, and so when you feel the knee and then feel the energy centre, they're not communicating. And so we use an energetic technique called resonance in AcuEnergetics, and what we're doing is just feeling what's going on there, and eventually after working on them, the knee and the centre will come into balance. They'll start talking, and the energy will be flowing between them, which is what you want in terms of the body's functioning. And then from there you can start to heal.
And my knee has not had a problem since. I haven't had my knee treated since. As you can see now, I've got the soccer ball now and I can kick and do whatever I like. So yeah, it worked for me perfectly.
In Western anatomy, we tend to look at the body as a machine of pulleys and levers rather than as a complex energetic electrical system. So when you look at the body as simple levers and pulleys, you think that there are structural problems, but what you don't see are the forces that hold those structures in place. When you consider it as an electrical energetic system, then you start to look for the forces that hold different structures in place or out of place.
I actually don't now do anything now with the fear of oh, I can't do this because of my shoulder, or I can't do this because of my knee or because of my back, or what if I hurt my back again. I know that if I do whatever I want to do, I can do it, and if something does happen, I can get fixed.
If someone comes to me and they've got 3 collapsed vertebrae in their back, they won't be able to avoid surgery. But if they come in with back pain diagnosed as problems with discs, problems with nerves, problems with different muscle strains, problems with fascial tissue, problems with ligaments, tendons, twists in the spine, things that are nodules that are on the spine, all these different things, most of those you can sort out energetically, because actually the pain is energetic. And that's really why you see, if you take x-rays of everybody on the planet, 99% of people have abnormal x-rays, 14% of people have pain. No one's ever successfully explained why 85% of people don't have pain, but it's because the pain has no direct relationship to the actual physical structure of the spine, except in extreme cases.
I first came to see Kevin for treatment myself, having not heard really anything about AcuEnergetics before, but I'd spent about 10 years seeing specialist doctors for a bunch of problems that I'd had in my body, and so finally, as a last resort really, I came to see Kevin, and after the very first session, I was laying on the table and I could instantly feel what he was doing in my body, and that blew me away completely. So I didn't understand it and I didn't know what was going on, but it was so incredibly strong physically about what was going on, this incredible movement in my body, that I was just fascinated in what he was doing. So I kept going back for treatment, and after a few weeks all of the symptoms just started to really ease in my body, for these symptoms that no one had been able to help me with for 10 years. So I kept going for treatment, and after a little while I had treatment for probably 2 to 3 months weekly, and after about probably 8 weeks everything had just gone. So I felt fantastic physically in my body, and as a plus to that, emotionally too, I felt like a different person. I felt really happy and just amazing. So from there I decided I just wanted to find out more about AcuEnergetics and how it worked, because it worked for me.